Have you ever felt curious about detoxing or feel like your life could use an overhaul right now? Well, if so, you're in for a treat, as I'm sharing how to cleanse your body, mind, and life with yoga and tips in today's video. Hey, High Vibes Nation! Welcome back to another video. I'm Mandy, life cheerleader, and I help others raise their vibration. I feel so happy to have y'all joining me for an episode on a topic I feel so passionately about: detoxing. I'll be sharing detoxifying yoga poses as well as loads of tips on how you can detoxify your body, mind, and life. With such a juicy, no pun intended, topic, I want to dive right in, as I'll be sharing a lot with y'all today. But before I do, you know the drill. Please make sure you thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you'll be informed each and every time I upload new videos to my channel. And I have a lot coming up for you guys, so make sure you do. And be sure to stick around till the very end of this video, where I'll be sharing a small detox tip that you can do today to majorly cleanse yourself. And it's a delicious one, so make sure you don't miss out on it. Okay, now let's get our bodies flowing. Alright guys, so before we begin our detox yoga poses, I'd just like to suggest a few props if you're someone out there who loves their props. So I'll mention a few right now. One that you might want to have on hand is just an all-natural yoga mat cleaner, just because sometimes our mats can get a little dirty. So that would be one. Another one that can come in handy for practicing the yoga is a small towel. This can be used in a myriad of ways. It can be used simply, regularly to just take off the sweat from your body. Another way that it can come in handy is to actually do stretching with it to increase your flexibility. So that's something you might want to have on hand. Another thing that can always come in handy is a yoga strap. Now, this one is a classic yoga strap with loops on the end. An alternative at home you can do instead, if you don't have a yoga strap, is just to use a belt, like a fashion belt, and then you can use that to loop over your feet or other areas of your body to help with your flexibility. So that would be one. And I always like to suggest a yoga block. I love yoga blocks so much for increasing flexibility, and also they just feel good if you lie on them and can just spread yourself out with stretching. So a yoga block can come in handy as well. And of course, if you have one, a yoga mat can always help with stretching. But again, guys, you don't need any of these props to do the yoga that I'm going to be instructing you through today. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can just use a towel on the ground. Otherwise, we're going to get right into it by just using your body and, of course, an open mind and free spirit. So let's do it. All right, guys, for pose number one, we're going to be doing a seated spinal twist. So let's do it. All right, so you just want to get onto your mat. You're going to come down, facing forward, like so. For this one, a big tip is just make sure that you're on the sit bones, which are at the base of your spinal cord. You just want to have even weight on both sides. Now with this one, you're just going to raise your right leg, cross it over your left knee. Again, nice, tall, beautiful posture. Keep your bottom leg straight out in front of you. Take a nice deep inhale. Lengthen all the way through your spine. And what we're going to do is take this right arm, link it over your knee. You can drop it down or keep it up, whatever feels better to you. And just start to inch back with every breath. So you're going to go and twist. Ooh, I felt a nice crack there. And again, guys, we want to make sure the knee here is staying straight up. You're not kind of flopping it around. really strong in your structure. So let's take another inhale. Breathe in and twist back. Beautiful. Keep breathing and feeling that nice deep twist, which is helping to detoxify us in our bodies. It's like you're squeezing out the toxins. Let's take one more breath. Beautiful, and release. Slowly bring that leg down. Shake your legs out a little bit just to give them a nice little shake. All right, now let's go to the other side. So we're gonna bring our left leg up, cross it over, right knee. Now with this arm, we are going to lock it against our knee. And we're going to come and bring our right arm now behind us. This one, I'm gonna put my arm up. So breathe in and bring it down. Woo, another crack. Try to stare over your back shoulder if you can. Keep breathing, feeling the nice deep stretch. Beautiful, guys. All right, one more breath in and wonderful. Let's bring that leg back to neutral center. Give them a nice shake. And da 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 da, that is a spinal twist. All right, guys, so for posture number 2, we're gonna do a 3-legged down dog. So let's do it. So for this one, you're gonna get onto your mat, come into standing position. You're gonna have your feet about hip distance apart. Take a nice deep inhale and bring it down, fold forward, inhale. You're gonna come into a downward dog. Place your palms down at your top of your mat. You can wriggle your feet a little bit. Just get into a nice down dog. Now from here, we're gonna inhale, and the reason why it's called 3-legged dog, on the exhale, you're going to bring your right foot up. So inhale and exhale, bring that into a 3-legged dog. Beautiful, guys. Make sure you're really strong in your posture. Let's hold it here. Nice. Let's take one more breath. And bring that foot back to a regular dog. Really great, guys. Let's do a little bit of leg fun. Okay, come back into our strong dog now. Now from here, we're gonna do the other side. So you wanna breathe in and breathe out. Bring that other leg back up. So you have a nice position. Make sure you're squaring your hips. Beautiful, guys. Just stay here, keep breathing. All right, let's take one more inhale and drop it down back into regular dog. Wonderful. Let's walk our hands back to our feet, and there you have it, guys. There is a 3-legged down dog. All right, for this next posture, we're gonna keep it aligned with the dog poses today. We're going to be doing a twisted dog, so let's get to it. So for this one, again, feet about hip distance apart on your mat. Take a nice deep inhale and drop it down, forward fold, inhale, and bring it into a regular downward dog. Beautiful, guys. From here, what you're gonna do for a twist is you're gonna inhale you're gonna take your right arm and you're going to bring it behind your left leg. So you're basically getting a twist from here. And you're going to hold that. Keep breathing. Feeling a nice twist in your spine. One more breath. Woo, another crack. And breathe it out into regular dog. Beautiful, guys. Make sure you have a little micro bend in your knees. Let's breathe in and do the other side. And bring your opposite arm back. Meet your opposite leg. Twist. Woo, it feels such a nice stretch in my spine right now. Keep breathing. Keep feeling the nice stretch. All right, one more breath. And release. Bring it into dog. All right, breathe in. Walk your hands back to your feet. Oh, beautiful, guys. There you have your twisted dog. All right, for our next pose, we're gonna be doing a wide-legged forward bend, but with a twist. Let's do it. So for this one, you're gonna get into a wide stance on your mat, like so. Feet are pointing forward. Make sure you put a little micro bend in your knees. From here, we're gonna take a nice deep inhale. Beautiful. One more breath in. You're gonna hinge at your waist, coming forward, just like so. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. Keep hinging forward till you come down. Now, we've done this before in other videos if you've seen me do the forward fold with the wide legs, but the difference today, because we want to really get a lot of toxins out of our system, instead of just coming down into a fold, we're actually going to take our right arm and we're going to link it to our opposite leg and come into a twist like so. Now you can keep your arm here in the middle if you prefer, or you can have it on your leg, whatever feels better for you today. Just honor what you're feeling. Beautiful, guys. One more breath. And breathe it out. Come back to center. And of course, you know, we want to do the same on the opposite side, so we can come into that posture now. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And take your opposite arm, your left arm now, your hand, and bring it across. So you're linking it to your right leg. And feel a nice deep twist in your whole body. One more breath in. And drop it down, release. Hands on your hips, breathe in. And when you breathe out, let's hinge up. Wonderful, guys. And, okay, you don't have to jump like that. There you have the wide-legged forward bend with a twist. All right, this next posture is going to be Locust. So for this one, we're actually just going to come down to our knees gently. And we're gonna come down and we're gonna actually lay flat onto our mats like such. You're gonna have your arms beside you. Just like so. Drop your head. Now from here, basically we're going to be lifting our arms and legs off of the mat. So let's breathe in. When you exhale, slowly bring your legs and arms off of the mat like so. Really strong, nice elongation in the entire body. Keep breathing. Make sure that you have a nice straight line through the top of your head, down your spinal cord. Keep breathing. Beautiful, guys. Let's hold this. Let's take one more breath together. And release. And that is Locust pose. All right, guys, I hope you are loving these poses. The next one we're gonna do is Plow pose. This one is pretty intense, but it's going to help to rid your body of toxins. So let's do it. So for Plow, you're actually gonna come down and sit on your mat like so. I'm gonna come a little bit forward. And with this one, essentially, you're gonna lie on your back, beautiful guys, just like this. And you're gonna bring your legs up to the sky. Start here. If this is all that you're going to do today, beautiful. Actually gonna come a little bit back, just so you guys can see. So from here, as I said, legs up to the sky. Now from here, what we're basically going to end up doing with Plow is we're gonna bring our legs over our head. And we are going to be lifting off of our mat entirely with our gluteus maximus and our lower back. Now, if this is all you guys can do today, that's totally cool. Stay here. I'm going to show you what it would look like if you did the full Plow pose, just so that you can work your way up to that. Or if you can do it today, amazing. Let's do it together. All right, so breathe in and breathe out. Let's bring our legs over like so. Now here, you want to use your arms and your hands to assist you so that you can have some support back there. Just like so. Beautiful. Let's hold it here. Nice strong legs. Nice stretch in your back. Just think of all the toxins that are getting squashed right now out of your body. Keep breathing in. Keep breathing, guys. All right, one more breath in. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, come back onto your back. Bring your legs last. Drop them down to your mat. And there you guys have it. There's your Plow pose. All right, the next posture we're gonna do is another twist, so we can twist all those toxins out of our bodies. It is a supine twist, so let's do it. This one again, guys, we're just gonna come down onto our mats. You're gonna lie flat onto your mat, on your back, beautiful. Now from here, all you're gonna do is bring your right leg up, a little bend. You're gonna drape it across your body like so, and I always like to adjust my hips a little bit in this one. Okay, you're gonna bring it across. Ooh, that feels so good. Now with this right arm, you're gonna bring it, see how it's bent? You're just gonna bend it so it's like a cactus. They call it cactus arms. And you're gonna look over that right shoulder and feel a nice deep stretch in your entire spine. Beautiful, guys. Keep breathing in, feeling that stretch. One more breath. And breathe out, release. Ooh, feels so good. All right, let's do the other side now. Straighten that right leg. You want to bring your left leg up. Again, I like to adjust my hips a little over. Drape it across your body, like so. I'm gonna bring this arm up now. turn towards your opposite side. Feel a nice deep stretch in your spine. Close your eyes. Let's keep breathing. One more breath in. Beautiful. Let's breathe it out. Come back to neutral center. Ooh, that felt so good. All right, guys, that is a supine twist. I often joke that I'm on a high-calorie, nutrient-dense positivity diet. We live in a time when there's such an emphasis placed on the foods and drinks that we consume and the effects that they have on our bodies, and also an abundance of information available surrounding them on Dr. Google. All it takes is a search of best diet, and you could be looking at a day's worth or more of information available around a certain food and or drink and how it affects your body. And while I'm a huge health nut and advocate for consuming a healthy diet for your body, as someone who is so passionate about self-development, which I know a lot of y'all watching are as well, I'm just as concerned about what to consume and or not consume for your mind, heart, and soul. Now, before I lose you with the woo-woo talk, just take a moment to consider when the last time was that you thought about the diet of other things in your life other than the foods that you're eating. Things like people, information, energy, environments that you're consuming on a regular basis. We often hear about juice cleanses and whoop whoop, shout out to my juicers out there, love y'all. But have you ever thought to do a lifestyle cleanse? As in omitting the toxic people, products, info, vibes, and surroundings that aren't serving you or that are eating away at your spirit? Well, that is exactly what we're going to be discussing today, along with body detoxing. But we're going to be talking about ways that you can cleanse your body, your mind, your soul, and your lifestyle right now. And just one caring note before I begin, all of the suggestions are things that I've either personally tried myself and or are things that I have researched or I know other friends have tried to detox their lifestyles. And just a word of caution and also for liability's sake, these are merely opinions and suggestions. I am not a medical doctor. So when it comes to any sort of health practice or supplements or anything like that, make sure you all consult your medical doctor first before trying anything new. And now, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys, now we can dive into all of the tips today. And I just want to mention that I've broken these into 3 main sections, which are body and then mind and then soul/lifestyle, just to keep it a little bit more organized and we can keep kind of grouping the similar topics together. And the one thing I want to say before I begin as well is just that this is a non-judgment zone. I want all these videos for you guys to always feel like they are all doable. Any tip that I give is doable, but also that no matter what I choose to do or what I choose not to do, that I am not judging y'all in any shape or form. These are just things that I've done in my own life, and if they can help you, that is my only intention. So please know, any suggestions I make are coming from a pure and positive space, and whether or not I have or haven't done something or choose to do or not do something, it's only because of my personal choice, and it reflects in no way whatsoever on what I think of y'all out there. Because I love you guys. You guys are my High Vibes Nation. Hashtag. And y'all know that my heart feels so warmly for you. So let's begin with body detoxing. So tip number 1 for body detoxing is to go with a cleansing program. Now, whoa, before y'all bite my head off about using supplements to detox, please hear me out. What do I mean by a body cleanse program? Well, there are a number of different programs available on the market today, and as someone who has tried many programs in my lifetime in terms of supplements and nutritional programs that have shakes and all these things, I will say this. I am not saying that it is better to cleanse with products versus real foods, which we are going to be getting to in a moment. So don't worry, guys, we're getting there. But I think there is something to be said with products that can help to assist your body to naturally flush out toxins. Now, the number one thing I'm going to say about any nutritional cleanse product and or program that's out there is that you want to make sure the products you're taking and putting into your body are actually made primarily from all natural ingredients. There are certain things that can really help our system no matter how healthy you are, and this is why I even bring this up first, because even as someone like myself who would consider myself, I really would consider myself someone who's really healthy, really clean eating. I try to do my best not to take in any sort of external toxins, but even so, we're living in a day and time when you can't avoid pollution. I try my best to only use natural products, but that being said, all of us still intake toxins, whether or not we are eating and living, quote unquote, trying to at least live this healthy lifestyle. So a cleansing program can look something like maybe you do an assisted intermittent fast. So the program that I have, and I'll put a link for that below, the nutritional program that I work with and coach people through, is a 30-day program. And basically one component of that is there's a number of cleanse days on that where you don't have to intermittent fast, so you're not doing like a water cleanse, but it actually allows your body to nutritionally reset. And what does that mean? Well, that looks like drinking a product that basically you mix with water and it's made from all natural herbs, and it helps to basically naturally detoxify your body without being a diuretic, so you're not losing all of the good nutrients in your body, because a lot of times when you take a diuretic, what happens is it'll flush out the bad stuff, the toxins, but you're also losing the good stuff that still exists in your body. Whereas if you use an all-natural supplement to help you assist your body to detoxify, you actually get the benefit of ridding yourself of that nasty stuff we want out of our bodies, but it's not going to strip your body clean of the good stuff that's within. So that would be tip number one. Find a reputable as well as all natural cleansing program or nutritional reset program to get your bodies revving cleaner. All right, guys, tip number 2 for detoxifying your body is to consume a variety of detoxifying foods and drinks. Now, if you, again, do a little Google search, you will find lots of different all-natural ways through diet to detoxify your system of those nasty little toxins. A few of my favorites to go with are usually in tea form, and I like to drink like dandelion root tea. I really love fennel, like whether it's using the herb fennel in my recipes and or making fennel tea. That's a really good one. Things that are really high in antioxidants tend to help us with ridding our bodies of free radicals that end up going into our systems, whether we like it or not. And so you can really use food as a way to heal yourself and just to be cleaner, like kind of like an internal cleansing through what you're consuming food and drink wise. So that would be tip number 2. All right, the next tip sounds pretty obvious, but tip number 3 is to drink water. I know, it sounds so silly. You might be sitting there going like, okay, Mandy, wow, that's so brilliant. But you know what, guys? Hear me out on this one. Most of us are not consuming enough water out there. If you're one of those people who always has your water bottle on you, you're always drinking during the day, kudos to you, thumbs up, you're doing an amazing job. But a lot of us are not consuming enough water, and water is imperative to be getting enough of to flush our bodies out of those nasty toxins that build up within us. And another reason why it's so important to drink water is because you have to think of it like an internal flush. When we don't drink enough water, we're not hydrated enough, and it's almost like our body will start to hold on to things even more so. So the more water you drink, just think of it like this natural flow, that beautiful flow we always conjure up in our yoga practice, and just the flow of life, as a beautiful metaphor. Make sure you're getting enough flow through water to flush out nasty toxins from your body. All right, guys. Tip number 4 for how to detoxify your body is kind of going back to what I said with tip number 1 in terms of products, but I'm talking just products that are not naturally occurring in, things like fruits and veggies, but what I'm talking about in terms of products in this sense are kind of like mixes and or things, for example, like a Greens Plus, because there's so many high antioxidants in that. You don't just make a Greens Plus at home, right? You have to buy it in some sort of product form from usually a health food store or a pharmacy. Another one that I like to buy, and this one I usually get at the bulk food store, is psyllium husks. And usually I just have like a tablespoon of ground psyllium. Psyllium is really, really good when it comes to flushing out the body because it's so high in fiber. Now there's insoluble and then there's soluble fiber. When you consume both in your diet and you're getting enough water from the tip that I just mentioned to you guys, drinking enough water, that all binds together basically, and it allows your body to naturally excrete all of those toxins that you're holding on to. So one product I actually came across recently that I'm a huge fan of, because I'm not a fan of, and I'll say it, apple cider vinegar. Ugh. If you guys have ever done ACV shots, as I like to call them, I don't do regular shots, but I'm a fan of doing health shots. So apple cider vinegar is actually one of my favorite ways to cleanse my body of toxins, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. The taste of it, even the smell of it, just it's so nasty. I feel like it smells like dirty feet. It's just so gross. I mean, anyways, I could do like a little segment just on how much I despise the smell of it. But I love ACV. I'll say it in short from this here on out. ACV is so full of amazing benefits for your body. One includes detoxifying it. So I really love to consume it as much as possible. But again, because I just can't stand the taste and smell, I sometimes just will go through periods where I don't really consume it, except I actually happen to have found a product that has made my life so much better, which is these Goli gummies. Now these ones, guys, if you can see, I will put a link below too for these in the description for the video. Goli came out with the world's first apple cider vinegar gummy. And honestly, guys, these gummies taste so good. And you'll be able to get your daily recommended amount of ACV and all of the nutrients and it's not chock full of any other nasty additives type stuff. And I want to just say with you guys in any videos moving forward as well, I have personally tried these. I love them. I'm only ever going to recommend products that I've personally tested firsthand, as well as things that I actually love. If I don't love it, like absolutely love something, then I'm not going to share it with you guys, because to me there's just no point. I want you to have the best results. So if I can find things to help you guys live healthier, happier, more harmoniously, I'm going to share them with you, because why wouldn't I, right? So Goli gummies would be one way to get the ACV and the added benefit of detoxifying your body. So that is one. Another thing that I like to sometimes buy, you can actually find like herbal mixes at the health food store or, as I said before, like herbal tea mixes, things that are basically powdered forms that will naturally help you excrete anything that's in your body. Another thing that you can do in terms of products, there are mixes I've seen, like again, going back to the high fiber diet, when you mix fiber with liquid, which typically the best form is water, you can excrete way more out of your system. But again, you don't want to overdo the fiber. You don't want to overdo any of the stuff I'm talking about, because then you'll start to strip away the good bacteria, the good things that do exist in your body. So we want to make sure it's just about balance, about ridding ourselves of stuff that's not serving us within our bodies while maintaining the healthy stuff that's going inside. And one last little note when it comes to products, you also want to make sure that you're paying attention to things that are topical products that you put on your skin, as well as your home cleaning products, because unfortunately, we absorb literally with the topical ones, but even when it comes to home cleaning products, we absorb things that we use around us. And especially if you're home cleaning, like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty OCD when it comes to living in a sanitary environment. So I'm constantly using cleaning products to make sure that my home is clean and serene, which you guys often hear me say. So I really make sure that my home cleaning products are all natural based as well, so that I'm not ingesting nasty chemicals in the air when I do choose to clean. All right, rolling cleanly and positively along. My next tip for y'all is to make sure that to a certain degree you are living a sober life. Now, before you guys try and figure out what I mean by this, I'm going to let you know what exactly I mean by living a sober life. For many, many years of my adulthood, to be honest, for most of my adulthood, I'm going to be really transparent with you guys. I don't drink whatsoever. I don't even drink a little bit, because I often get asked when people hear that I don't drink, they say to me, oh, what do you mean by that? Do you mean just like a drop, here and there, like a drink once in a while? No, guys. I do not drink whatsoever, and I will let y'all in. I have never had a drinking problem. It's not about that for me. I just really love having clarity in my mind, and because I love living such a healthy lifestyle, I have found that, the few times that I have drank in my past, I would always wake up just not feeling my best, not being able to be productive, and it just didn't suit the lifestyle that I wanted to lead. So the thing that I want you to take away from this tip is not to feel bad if you drink. Most of my friends drink. I just choose to do this for myself because I love living a very clean lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you're not living a healthy or clean lifestyle if you do choose to drink. A lot of people drink. My big thing with it is hopefully knowing what your, balance of drinking versus not having drinks in your life means to you. It just doesn't suit my lifestyle. I have nothing against alcohol, and I have nothing against drinking per se, but your body is not meant to consume alcohol. And some of y'all might want to shoot me out there. I'd say the one caveat that, and I could see myself getting into that at some point, is maybe drinking wine. And there are a lot of antioxidants that are in wine. So, but that doesn't mean get drunk off of wine just because there's antioxidants in it. But I do, I have looked into research in terms of, having a glass of wine per day and the antioxidants that, you can take away from consuming it in a balanced way like that. That could be a way that, maybe that's the balance for you, is maybe having a glass of wine once a day. I'm not really sure what works for you guys. I just know that for myself, not consuming any alcohol, not consuming any drugs, not smoking, not doing these kind of things, I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot brighter. I'm able basically to have a really productive lifestyle. And again, like I talked about in another video, when it comes to living sort of this high vibes life, you really have to ask yourself, the question at the end of the day about diet in particular, or even substances, are they serving your highest good? Are they allowing you to live in your healthiest and happiest state? And, I know there's a lot of controversy out there about what we consume in terms of alcohol and certain drugs and more natural things like even marijuana and mushrooms and those kinds of things. There's a lot of chatter I see, even whether it's online or off, or here, I should say, when obviously offline. But here's the thing, guys. It's all about your personal preference. You only know what works for you. I know what works for me. What I would potentially invite you guys to do out there, which I've seen other friends do in the past who do, consume alcohol and other things, is sometimes they prefer doing something like maybe they'll take a month off of drinking and do like a sober February or sober January. Just find something that works for you. To me, it's all about balance in life. So if you're finding that for some reason one of your habits like drinking, or maybe you're consuming even pharmaceuticals very regularly and you're finding that you're not feeling your best, maybe that's a sign for you to take a break and see how you feel then. And then you can have a clear mind to then assess this situation and figure out for yourself if that's something you want to continue doing, or maybe you just call it quits for life. Like, it's really your life, your choice. But what I can say when it comes to detoxifying is definitely eliminating those things for a certain period of time can have major benefits in terms of ridding your body of toxins. All right, guys, I know that last tip was a little long-winded, but I'm very passionate about living the sober life because I've just had so many amazing benefits from doing so. And again, no judgments to y'all. I love y'all no matter what you choose to do for yourself. I just pray that you're not hurting yourself or hurting others when you choose to do certain things in your life. That's all. So moving on to the next tip. The next way to detoxify your body is through a sauna. And I know for some of y'all out there right now with social distancing, it might be a little tricky, but there are easy at-home ways that you can actually do the quote-unquote sauna detox, one of which is taking a nice hot steamy shower. And I know it's not the exact same as being in an actual sauna, but you can rid your body of toxins by being just in that moist, hot environment. So taking a hot shower is one. Another way you can, kind of get some of the added benefits of doing kind of a steam sauna experience is filling a hot bowl with boiling water and then putting your face over the bowl and draping a towel over yourself. You might have tried this maybe when you're sick. Sometimes that's good for, clearing out your sinuses if you have some congestion, but there's another easy way that you can start to involve kind of that sauna effect. Now, when we're out of social distancing and you do have access to a sauna outside, it is amazing when it comes to the benefits of what going into a sauna regularly can do to help you excrete those toxins from your body. So that would be another way I should say, that you could implement a detoxifier for your physical body. All right, guys, a final way that you can detoxify your body today is by sweating it out. Now, some of the easiest ways and some of my personal favorite ways to sweat it out are through exercise, which you can do in a myriad of ways. Usually cardio is going to help you sweat a lot. HIIT training is another one, high intensity interval training. That's great. Even weightlifting, like when I'm doing some heavy weightlifting, I find myself constantly sweating. And when we sweat, it just allows our body to release those toxins through our sweat, through our skin. You're going to be releasing all those toxins out of your body. And there's another way that you can detoxify naturally and free. All right, now let's get into ways that you can detoxify your mind. Now, given that we're living in such a high-tech time, one of the best ways to detoxify your mind with so much constant tech stimulation is to do a little thing I like to call a digital detox. Now, what on earth do I mean by a digital detox? Well, guys, digital detox is as follows. It means going through your inbox, your cell phone or smartphone, and also your laptop to rid it of things that are clogging it up and/or things like notifications that are constantly bombarding you with, let's be honest, stress inhibitors, Because when we get bombarded with these inboxes that never are empty, when we have all these notifications coming at us, we are internalizing all of that data, all of that, stuff that's building up. So one thing that I like to do constantly, and so it doesn't pile up so much, is to go through all three of those, my inbox, my phone, and my laptop, and constantly do like a refining of what I'm holding on to. I'll make organized folders so I can easily store things away, and also just delete stuff. Like I used to be way more into holding on to even like emails just in case something happens and I want to have access to it. Now I get rid of so much stuff because it frees up our space, first of all, which is great when it comes to technology, but also I don't want to hold on to stuff that honestly I probably will never even look at again, potentially. The important stuff I file away, and the rest I literally like empty it. And do you know how good it feels to me now? And maybe you guys can relate out there, but when I actually click the empty trash, this is so funny. When I click the empty trash bin on my phone or my laptop, I honestly feel like a weight literally lifts off of me. And it's literally like detoxifying my mind of that stuff that once existed. So that's one tip for you guys, is just to do a little digital detox. So the other way you guys can practice doing a digital detox is to actually abstain for a period of time from either using your laptop, your phone, or your email. Now, Tim Ferriss, who I've mentioned in other videos before, or at least the last video, is someone who is, in my mind, a really healthy role model for downsizing the amount of time you spend doing a lot of tasks in life, to be honest. Hence why he wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, which I'll put a link to below. And one of the things that I read initially in his book that I loved was this practice of only checking emails twice a day. Because when we constantly are checking our phones, whether it's social media or you're checking your inbox constantly, you're eating up time, you're eating up your energy, because it's not just a matter of seeing something. Once your mind registers with seeing a new piece of information, you excrete so much of your personal energy into that thing. It's kind of insane, to be honest. So now what I've gotten into the habit of doing, I try my best. Not perfect, it's always a work in progress, but I really try my best to only check my emails once earlier in the day and once later in the day to free up my personal energy and time from constantly having to look at emails. Now, of course, there are exceptions to the rule. Sometimes I'm waiting for an important email, or, I might have something come through and it catches my eye, but I try my best to try and have that rule of only checking it once in the morning and once later on in the day, usually like in the evening, so that during my day, I'm not bombarded. Same with social media. I've actually done that before, where even this past weekend, I literally took a social media detox where I did not go on my social media outlets for one day. And I know for y'all, especially fellow content creators like myself out there, it almost sounds like impossible and or crazy not to go on. But I felt so good just taking one day off, as much as I love connecting with y'all on social media, and I love creating content, and I love being on social media in the terms of seeing really inspiring, positive, beautiful content that all of y'all are producing out there. It does feel so good when I do get to take a break, and we can do this at any time, and it doesn't have to be a full day. I mean, I know people who've literally taken like months off at a time. I know that sounds crazy in this day and age, but even if it's for a few hours, just to give yourself like a mental break, detoxify your energy field, detoxify your mind from all those notifications, all those things that are going on that are hyper-stimulating, and just try it. Try taking even a few hours off from social media and see how you feel. You probably are going to feel a little lighter and brighter, and that is another tip for you guys to detoxify your mind. All right, let's get into tip number 2, which is to detox yourself from mind drama and stress. Do you guys find that sometimes you can get into the snowball effect of having a lot of negative self-talk? If so, that is one way that you are literally building up toxins, quote unquote, inside of your brain. And that can lead to a lot of other physical ailments, which are not good for us, which you guys know. So my number one tip for this one to rid yourself of mental, toxicity is to start getting into a habit of having positive self-talk. Now, I've talked a lot about affirmations in other videos because that is a way to train your brain to basically be nicer to yourself, and so that you don't keep building up this negativity inside of your brain. So have some positive affirmations, have, go-tos. Maybe you've written some down, maybe you have them on your phone. Sometimes I've even set reminders on my phone where I don't necessarily have a reminder of like, say nice things to yourself, but maybe you have a little reminder on your phone once a day where you set it at 1 hour every day to just have like self-love or healthy self-talk. And you can repeat a few beautiful things to yourself so you don't get into that negative Nelly or negative Nancy, whatever you choose to call that, but that kind of negative headspace. So detoxify your mind today with beautiful, healthy affirmations. All right, guys, another way to detox your mind is to take note of the news and the media that you are consuming. Now, as someone who is a journalist, I'm going to put a caveat in here. Obviously, I'm not talking about all media and all news that is produced. There's a lot of amazing information that is put out there. But unfortunately, there's, on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of negative news, a lot of negative media that is constantly put out there that we tend to consume sometimes even, all day long or on a daily basis, and that can really have a negative psychological effect on us. So in order to kind of free your mind from that stuff, you just want to be aware of how much and also the kinds of news and media you're consuming. And a beautiful way to detox is shut it off. Just shut it off. And to all my fellow newscasting friends and fellow media personalities out there, this is not, a punch towards you guys who are trying to just report on, the stuff that's going on in the world, which unfortunately, and like my heart goes out to, all the stuff that is constantly talked about that is not so nice in the world. It's not about, disregarding it or ignoring the realness of some of the really detrimental things that our world is going through, but it's really just safeguarding yourself from ingesting so much of it that it actually starts to weigh you down, starts to bring your vibe down. So just be more aware of how much and what you're consuming. All right, another way to detoxify your mind is kind of feeding off of the last tip, and that is the consumption of other materials. So what does that mean, guys? That means what you're consuming in terms of music, in terms of books, in terms of TV and video, in terms of, programs even that you're taking part in. Are these things that are serving you? Are they, filling you up? Or are they actually depleting you of goodness that you have within you? Are they, ridding you of your good vibe? These are kind of things that you just, again, want to be aware of, because when we ingest anything, whether it is, again, reading material, audio material, visual materials, they can either uplift us or they can bring us down. So just become more mindful of these other consumable materials that you are, taking in on a daily basis. And if they're not so good for you, try to replace them with something that is actually going to do you a service. All right, mental detox. Next tip is to be more aware of your environment. And I have talked about this. I'll put a link to, how to raise your vibe video below, because again, I always go back to environment, and I think it's so important to just be aware of whether the environment around you that you're in on a constant basis, especially now with social distancing, we're all at home, but I think it's just important, whatever environment you're in, and this is great too, to just think be more mindful. Like, that's really the conversation I'm trying to have with you guys today, is everything I'm mentioning in terms of tips is just to be more aware, be more mindful of what you're ingesting, body, mind, and soul/lifestyle, because these all can build up toxins within us. And it doesn't just have to be free radical, physiological type toxins. These can be toxicity of the mind. This can be toxic, vibes around you. But make a note of how you're feeling when you're in the environment you're in, whether that's a negative feeling or a positive one. That's really what you want to be doing constantly to refine and detoxify yourself, is how do you feel? Do you feel really high on life? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel positive in your environment? Or is the environment you're currently in bringing you down? Is it sucking your energy? Is it depleting you of those beautiful positive vibes in your natural state of happiness that you should be? That's what you want to ask yourself when it comes to ridding your mental space of toxicity. Is your environment serving you, or is it doing a disservice to you? All right, my last tip for mental detoxification is all about behaviors. Are your behaviors serving you, or are they actually making you, stagnant in your growth? I think that's one question that I constantly ask myself in terms of whether my behaviors are good for me or not so good. Are they allowing me to break out of that comfort zone? Are they allowing me to mentally break through barriers, push past my fears? Are they helping me to expand and grow and elevate? Or are they doing the opposite? Are they actually making me stuck? Do I feel stagnant with the kinds of behaviors that are going on in my life? I'll give you guys, say an example just so you can have this in context form. So obviously y'all know how much I love working out. I love fitness. I love exercising. And even as such, and someone who loves trying a variety of workouts, even I can find myself sometimes getting stuck doing the same old in terms of exercises I turn to that I love, or workouts that I have saved on my phone or my YouTube that I love to turn to. And a perfect example of this is me asking myself, Mandy, you've done the same workout now a number of times. Do you want to stick with it, or maybe try something different or new? That's a perfect way for me to train myself when I do choose to do a new exercise or a new routine or a new workout. It's basically a behavior of not allowing myself to stick to what's comfortable or familiar and breaking through to a new found love, hopefully, of something that's different and new and that will help me expand my strength, maybe my flexibility, maybe my, range of motion, whatever the case may be. That is a behavior that is learned. Being comfortable with trying new things is a behavior that maybe you guys, I'm going to challenge you guys, try something new today just so you can break free. And when you do that, you mentally train yourself. And this is going back to the whole purpose why I brought this up, of detoxifying yourself of behaviors that are no longer serving you. Because when you do that, you actually free up mental space. And that is a beautiful way to detoxify your mind. All right, guys, and now for our third way to detox, which is getting more into the soul lifestyle detox. This has to be actually probably my favorite one. As much as I love body detoxifying and detoxification of the mind, I really truly believe that when we can detox our lifestyle, like I literally have this thing that I put myself on called a life detox, because I think it's just being more mindful of all the things around us that can really make the biggest impact. And inevitably, when we can detoxify our entire life, that allows us to continue to grow, to expand, to elevate, and be in that highest vibration of ourselves. All right, my first tip for detoxifying your life is to detoxify your personal space. Now, I know I mentioned in the mind tips about being aware of your environment, but I'm literally talking about like, let's get down to the nitty gritty and organize your lifestyle based on your personal space. This can mean tossing things out. It means decluttering. For all you rat packs out there, especially, I am talking to you about this one. And also those who just tend to be more messy. I think there's something to be said about tidying up regularly, going through your personal belongings, whether that's, clothing, whether it's your work space and your desk, whether that's, maybe it's your car, where you're holding on to things that, again, are either cluttering your life up or, sometimes you might want to donate things. Whatever the case may be, this is all about the intention and goal of just getting really clean and serene in your environment. And I do truly believe when you organize your personal space, your whole life will be affected and you will live just a lighter experience, a lighter existence in your life, because you're not holding on to all these things that probably don't really mean that much to you. If you're not even using them on a regular basis, chances are you don't need them. So donate them, give them away, throw them out, or just get organized. Like, make sure they have their little compartmentalized, places in your personal space, so you're not constantly bombarded with all this clutter, because that really will just clutter your mind. It'll clutter, other areas of your life. I've seen this before. So I just mentioned this personal space tip because it really will make a huge difference in, detoxifying your whole lifestyle. All right, my next tip for life detox is to go through your friends list. I know that sounds funny, and no, I'm not just referring to Facebook. I literally mean the relationships, and it's not just friends, actually. I mean on a broader spectrum, all of the relationships that you have in your life. Now, I know y'all have heard me talk about this before, whether it's in these YouTube videos or the podcast, on even how to rid yourself of toxic people, because toxic people, and again, from my heart space to y'all, I don't believe anyone is a bad person. I do think that people are further along on their healing journey, or maybe not so further along on their healing journey, and maybe they're not meant to be in your life because you guys are just not in a space where you can help each other to evolve. So when it comes to sort of those energy vampires, low vibers, as I refer to, I'm not meaning it in a mean way. I just mean that there are certain times and certain people in your life that might not be the best people for you. And so I really, truly believe it's important to continuously go through the people who you spend the most amount of time with, because inevitably we end up becoming like those people. So if you're not hanging around people who are good for you, quote unquote, and what good for you, I basically mean people who are going to uplift you, energize you, be a positive influence, a positive impact, and help you to get into your highest state of being. When we are not around those kind of people that are really healthy for us, it just naturally brings us down. And this isn't like, a popularity contest type thing, or like hanging out with people who, are to other people like on some sort of pedestal. It's not about that at all. It's people who are going to help you to be in your healthiest, your happiest, and your most, the highest state that you could possibly be in right now today. So what does that look like? Well, that can be, your family, that could be your friends, that could be your colleagues, that could be people who you have to have regular contact with, like maybe your neighbors, maybe it's people who, you're in groups with or doing programs with. All these people, whether you like it or not, are going to affect you in either a positive way or a negative way. So I would highly invite you guys to, on a regular basis, think about the people that you're spending the most amount of time with. And the number one question I always say to whether, it's friends who I'm having conversations with, even myself, I constantly ask myself, how do I feel? How do I feel when I connect with this individual? Do they make me feel better? And it's not about like someone having to serve you per se or be a servant of you. What I mean just is, do they make you feel happier? Like, it's a simple question that can really differentiate, whether someone should be you're spending more time with this person or you're spending less time with them. It's literally as simple as that. How are they making you feel? How do their text messages make you feel? How do their phone calls make you feel? How do your conversations with them make you feel? How do they feel when you are in their presence? Which I know right now we're not able to spend a lot of physical time with people because of social distancing, but in general, just every type of connection that you have with them, whether it's video calls, phone calls, text messages, messenger, whatever the case may be, whenever you're connecting with them in general, are they uplifting you? Are they making you feel better? Or are they bringing you down? Are they sucking your energy again? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. And the one other really big tip that I want to put out to you guys to just consider, especially once we get through this social distancing, is, are you hanging out in the right environments that are allowing you to attract really good, solid, healthy people into your life? I'll just pose this question to you guys. Do you think you're more apt to find people who are, probably healthier and solid and the type of people who you want to have really close quality connections with? Do you think you're more apt to find them in a setting like late at night, at a bar, or somewhere like a healthier environment, potentially like a gym or, a health food store, or maybe a meetup for people with the same interests as yourself? Those are the kind of quality connections I'm referring to. Again, no judgment here. I'm sure there are lots of cases where people have met, good friends and whatnot. It's more so though, just on an average basis speaking, where are you more apt to find high quality connection in your life? Just be mindful of the environments you're meeting people in is basically what I'm trying to say with this one. So that's it, guys. All right, another way that you can detox your life is to question the type of work you're doing. Do you find that in your day-to-day job, if it is a day-to-day type scenario job, do you find that it's soul depleting, or is it really filling you up inside? Is it something that is allowing you to do your passion? Is it, allowing you to really wake up every morning with a purpose? These are the kind of questions you want to ask yourself, because if you answered no, it's not your divine purpose that God has for you, and it's not your passion, then chances are it's going to actually rid you of your joy. And I'm not saying that's the case for every scenario out there. And I'm not saying that there aren't some of y'all who might have to do certain jobs right now to get you to that, passion that you have. But I'm a huge advocate of helping y'all and trying to help you guys do your soul purpose, to do that thing you're most passionate about, that feels like you have a purpose to wake up to every single day of your life. So what you can do is maybe just putting it out there, if you don't feel like that's what's happening in your current state, is maybe come up with an action plan with some steps that will help you slowly get closer and closer to what it is that you are doing, so that you can be more aligned with the type of work you're doing every day. And the reason why I bring this up in terms of how to detox your life is you're basically wanting to get rid of things like soul-sucking work or jobs that are depleting you of your good vibes. Because guys, you deserve to be doing work that you absolutely love. And all it takes is, if you're not there yet, just coming up with an action plan to get you to that end result. All right, another big one for a life detox is going through the activities that you are currently doing. Activities is basically how we spend our free time, and they can have a dramatic positive or negative effect on us. So I like to go through, sometimes what I'll do actually is write down the activities that I'm doing on a regular basis. A lot of times I do this in my journal every day to make notes of things that I'm taking part in, and I can refer back to them to see, are they really serving that end goal? Are they really are they really serving me in the long run, that end game, as far as what I want to accomplish in my life? And we all have different goals out there. I know all of you watching, I'm sure, have really big aspirations for yourself that you want to accomplish, whether that's short-term or long-term. And you have to ask yourself, we only do have 24 hours in a day. And I'm all for the mindset of having an abundance of time. But let's be real. Life gets really busy really quickly. And, I know a lot of you are high achievers out there watching, and your plate is already really full. So you have to ask yourself in that, in those, maybe if you're lucky, few hours, if not more or less, that you have a free time during your day and your routine, are you filling them with activities that are going to help you to achieve your goals? And if they're not, then you can delete them so that you're detoxing yourself from those activities that are not going to be serving you in the long run. All right, another biggie is habits, your daily habits. It kind of goes in tune with the activities, because a lot of these are activities. But what I mean by habits is things that you're doing on a regular basis that, again, are either serving you or not serving you. So what do I mean by habits? It could be anything from working out to eating healthy to maybe it's meditating, maybe it's, the habit of consuming, TV programs. It could be, taking part in spiritual practices. Maybe it's having a religious, practice every day. Whatever those daily habits are, you really want to, again, be more mindful, be aware of whether these habits are serving you or are actually doing a detriment to you. And whatever is not serving you, you want to just delete them. It's as simple as that. Now, sometimes there are strings attached to some of these habits, maybe, unfortunately, and this is actually, I always look at things as, it could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe you are aware that maybe you have some addictive tendencies and some of your habits are actually addictions. Well, here is a beautiful opportunity, guys, to work your way through and go through and grow through eliminating something that is actually doing a disservice through addiction in your life by slowly starting to stop yourself from doing it on a regular basis until you get to a point where you can actually eliminate it entirely from your life. So check in with yourself, ask yourself what habits are helping you or which ones are hindering your progress. Now, a beautiful way to see whether or not you feel like you need a major overhaul in your life is to look at your daily routine. Now, your routine is made up a lot of times of the activities and habits and things that you do throughout your day. And if it's really in alignment with, again, that end goal that you have for yourself. And this is a work in progress type scenario because your routine is going to change throughout your life depending on what your priorities are and depending on what your goals are, depending on, what you're hoping to achieve and work towards on a regular basis in your life. But I think it's really important. I couldn't do this episode, about detox without looking at whether or not you need to detox things in your daily routine, because it's the little things that we do every day that make the biggest impact overall in our entire lifetime and lifespan and lifestyle. So you have to just sit down. If you don't have a calendar, which I'm a huge fan of using a calendar for making appointments, but also, prioritizing and scheduling certain activities that I do during my day. And also make note of how long you spend doing these activities. Make a note, like if you're not holding yourself accountable through a routine, chances are you're kind of losing time doing things that maybe, again, are not the healthiest or are not serving you. And that can eat up a lot of your life. Like, that's kind of how critical it is. So just make a note of what needs to be eliminated from your routine to, again, detoxify your life. All right, my last tip is to do with our natural human desire to give back. And that is to ask yourself the question of whether or not you really feel like you are doing things in your life to contribute and connect to a community. This is a really, really important one, guys, because as humans, we naturally do have the tendency to want to be bigger or to want to be a part of something that is bigger than ourselves. in a way that allows us to personally give back to our community. And connection is a natural human desire. We want to connect with one another. I love connecting with you guys through video format, through my social media, through all the content I put out there, and also in person when we're not social distancing. You know, I love connecting with some of you guys at events or meetups or that kind of thing. And I know right now it's a little bit hard to do in the physical sense, but even just through this means, you know, through video, through audio, through my podcast, all these things are ways that I can connect with you guys on a regular basis, and it's how I feel in a sense that I can contribute back to y'all by, you know, offering these healthy tips, by teaching you guys yoga, teaching you all the beautiful life lessons that I've learned along the way. And so what I would invite all you guys to do is, if you're feeling a lack of connection, one thing I would suggest is you can join my online community, which started through my podcast called Pave Your Paradise Podcast. I'll put a link below, but join something online that allows you to also give back in some way. And maybe for you guys, that just means giving your 2 cents. Maybe that means providing advice. Maybe if we take it offline, maybe that just means being a beautiful shoulder or ear for a friend to lean on when they're going through something. Maybe it means giving advice to a friend. Maybe it could mean something as simple as, you know, someone who might come into your sphere. Maybe it's someone you pass by and maybe they're having an issue and you notice how you can serve them and be a help to them. Because when you give, you actually receive so much internally. And that's why I think community and connection are so, so important. When it comes to detoxifying your life, it's actually the lack of that thing, which is the community connection and contribution, that can actually rid us of beautiful vibes, those happy, positive vibes. When we don't feel that purpose, again, going back to the purpose point, that passion for giving back, that actually can deplete us of natural born beautiful energy that we're supposed to have as well, because we don't feel like we're contributing. We don't feel like, you know, our God-given talents and gifts are being utilized in their highest way. So that is another way that you guys can detoxify your life, by tuning in and really making sure that you are contributing in a higher way to the greater world at large. All right, guys, it's bonus tip time. Woohoo! Yes, I'm very energized about this one, and I can't wait to share with you guys, so here goes. My bonus tip that you can start doing today that's going to help you to detoxify your entire life is actually a writing exercise. Now, this is one that I've used on a regular basis to help me detoxify basically every single area of my life, and it is as follows. So what you all want to do is focus on the main goals that you have for today's sake. We'll focus on 4 main areas of life, which are your relationships, your health, your business, and basically your lifestyle, we'll call that last quadrant. So you want to write down, again, the main goals that you have, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do an inventory of a number of things in your life. Things like people, things, activities, habits, behaviors, thoughts, places even that you go to on a regular basis. You're going to take an inventory mentally of all of these things and you're going to write them out on a list. Now what you're going to do, and this is where this beautiful little marriage of the two comes in, is you're going to put them up beside each other. Bonus points if you even just write them down beside one another. It's a lot easier that way. And you're basically going to do an inventory of all the things that you just wrote down, of things that you do in your life, and you're going to see if they actually support or they do it like take you further away from getting to these goals that you have for yourself. And whatever is not helping you get closer towards these main goals that you have are things that you're going to consciously detox yourself of. Now, I know it's not always easy to do an exercise like this because, again, these might not be things that you can get rid of or eliminate or quote unquote detox from your life today. But this exercise will certainly get you into a mindset of trying to eliminate those things, people, habits, behaviors, whatever you want to call those things. It'll get you more into this mindset of how you can constantly be trying to only fill this list of all that's in your life with things that are only going to bring you closer positively towards those goals that you want to achieve. Now, as always, y'all know how I feel about tuning within, and I think, especially with this exercise, it's not something you want to do in 2 minutes. It's definitely like a really kind of deep dive, and it does require radical honesty. You really need to tune in and ask yourself how you feel about all areas of your life, where you're at, what you are struggling with, what you still have yet to accomplish, and are you where you're at, where you want to be at in life right now? It can be really easy to get into this stagnant kind of like, I'm comfortable, this is familiar, I don't really want to keep pushing myself. It can sometimes be easy to get into that headspace. And a lot of times when we're like that, it's because we're not actually changing anything in our life, whether it's our environment, things that we're eating, our foods, it could be, again, the stuff we're consuming, the people, the places we're going to. All these things are huge factors in accomplishing these end goals. So I'm just going to invite y'all today, most importantly out of this entire exercise, the writing aspect's really important because A, you have something to reference. B, you also get to, cross things off, which can be really fun in itself. And it's kind of therapeutic when you have like a to-do list and you get to cross things off. But most importantly, I really want you guys to just tune in, like get in touch with yourself if you already feel like there's a disconnect somewhere. Because the sooner you do, the easier and just better you're gonna feel about knowing what is truly working for you in your life or what's working against you. And that's the whole point, right? We want to detoxify our lifestyle and our bodies and our minds of things that are just not working for us any longer. The ultimate goal is to find things and to fill that plate of yours with things that align with getting your soul's nutritional requirements. Woohoo! I don't know about y'all, but I am feeling on positive fire right now. Clearly, I hope you're feeling this energy and are feeling uplifted and energized right now. I loved sharing all these tips and the yoga to help you guys detox your life, and I really hope that you guys have enjoyed our time together today. I feel so curious to know what y'all plan to do to detoxify either your body, mind, or lifestyle that I shared in today's video. Whatever tips you plan to use, let me know in the comments below. Share it with the High Vibes Nation, #community, and let's start detoxifying all areas of our life together. If this video is really resonating with y'all and you would like some help to detoxify yourself, either nutritionally or lifestyle-wise, I will put a link below for how to work with me as a coach and/or to sign up for some of my programs that I mentioned, because sometimes it can help to have that kind of support in order to clean up different areas of your life. And I would feel so blessed and honored to work with any of y'all who do want that help out there. Also, if you want to support my High Vibes mission of uplifting others and these videos that you're watching right now, I do have a Patreon page that you can go on where I offer lots of different rewards for different denominations of donations. Things like, private yoga lessons, private meditation and breathwork lessons, private coaching, live group calls. Go on to the link that I put in the description below. If you do feel in your heart of hearts that that's something that aligns for you and you want to support me and this mission, then please do so. And guys, to all of y'all who are already patrons of my work, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love hearing from y'all, and I love seeing the progress that you guys are making out there. So if you're going to post on social media, please make sure you tag me at Mandy J. Ross so I can potentially even feature you on one of my stories. I love sharing the positive content that you guys are also putting out. So again, just Mandy J. Ross. Let's connect on social. And guys, make sure you're hashtagging High Vibes Nation so I can see you guys radiating in your highest way. All right, guys, you know the drill. If you're watching and you're still watching, clearly you've liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you'll be informed every time I put new videos out. And I have so much goodness coming up for you guys, so please make sure you do. And on that positive note, thank you so much for joining me for another video. Namaste, and as always, wishing y'all a beautiful day.